morning and welcome again to Unity Spiritual Center, and a shout out to our online community. So glad you're with us today. Doesn't your heart feel full after a moment of meditation? Yes, good. Well, we are continuing in our month-long journey of this book, The Point of Power by Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck. And the purpose of our embarking on this month-long journey of these 11 chapters is to come to a place of certainty within ourselves of who and what we are in the world. Unity principle number 2 says that we are divine sparks, and I say, we are so much more than just a spark of the divine. We are embodying and embracing that truth in order to be the truth we know, Unity principle number 5, and live it in the world. And it is no small task, as you have probably been realizing through this month's journey of this book. But that's why I love it so. So, because we're in week 4, I am hoping that after last week, our exploration of the law of mind action, you have been able to identify that you are playing the matching game. You may, those of you who were here, recall that last week I talked about the universe is matching your vibration and giving you more of what it is you are vibrating in alignment with. And so, as in the children's game that we have in nursery, for those of you who are volunteers down there, the cupcake goes with the cupcake. The cow goes with the cow. The house goes with the house. Whatever it is you are vibrating to, the universe will match. Sort of like our building fund there. There is an invisible, anonymous source who is matching all of your donations. Thank you, God. And so as we are vibrating in the essence of sadness, we get an opportunity for more sadness. As we are vibrating in the essence of poor, pitiful me, for whatever reason, what happens? We get the opportunity to experience more poor, pitiful me. Yeah, not on my to-do list, but it has happened in my lifetime, and I'm thinking it's happened in yours as well. So whatever it is, if we're vibrating in a state of health and wholeness, what's going to happen? The universe is going to provide health and wholeness. You're catching on. This is good. All right. So this is the law of mind action. Whatever it is, you are a magnet for more. The universe will give you more. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that shallow men believe in luck, and strong men believe in cause and effect, which is our topic for today, the law of cause and effect. Why did Emerson say this? He seemed like a smart guy in the know, him and all his transcendental buddies. He said this because he knew within his life experience that he was the cause of his life experience by his thinking. Yep. What he thought about, he brought about. We say that's one of our catchphrases in Unity. That which you think about, you bring about. And he knew he was bringing more. So the metaphysical meaning of cause and effect, according to the Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, is that it is the universal law of sequence. when you're building a brick wall, you put the first row down, and then you put the second row down, and then the third row down. It's the law of sequence. Everything has a sequence. You plant the seed, you water the seed sprouts, this plant blooms, the fruit or veggie appears, it goes back to seed, rinse and repeat. It's quite that simple. So the law of sequence, Charles Fillmore goes on to explain, is that mankind lives in two worlds. The world of cause, which is happening within, and the world of effect, which is happening out there. I'm the cause of my life and the effects out there, and you're the cause of your life and the effects out around you. So sorry. I'm always the one to burst that bubble. With much empathy and compassion, trust me. So, cause is the inner, effect is the outer. As long as you can remember that, you're doing good. So one example that he shared in his book on prosperity was that there were people out in the world that appeared very prosperous. And how did they do that? They made up their mind to be prosperous. They made up their mind. That's what they wanted, that's what they were going to do, that's what they were going to think, that's how they were going to act. And all of the universe conspired along with their thoughts, words, actions, and attitudes to make it happen. They were vibrating in alignment with prosperity and abundance, and so the universe gave them more to be in vibration about in regard to prosperity and abundance. It's the matching game. So you can do that with health, you can do that with a new car, you can do that with relationships. And if you're not liking what it is that's the effect, you can go backtrack to what thinking were you having, what emotions were you having, what words were you speaking out into the universe in order for them to boomerang back to you. That's another way to look at it. Not only are you playing the matching game with the universe, but there's a boomerang effect in place. Whatever you send out returns. It's the infinity symbol. So cause and effect are never separate from our experience. They are never separate from one another either. They are always working together in alignment to one another. The law of mind action is a deeper study of cause and effect, otherwise known as the law of sequence. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? This is a ages-old question, and it talks about the law of sequence. So cause seems to be separate from effect in our human thinking by two ways: time and space. So cause is separated in time, or it feels as if cause is separated in time, when we attribute how we react or respond to an event that was caused from our past or caused from our future. Catch that? Cause appears separate in time when we attribute how we react or respond from an event in the past. The past one's easier to grasp because we've lived it. We've not only lived the cause, we've lived the effect, and then we're saying, oh, how did that happen? So a common example would be, you might hear someone say, when I was a child, my mother always told me I was bad. Cause, or perceived cause, okay? And they go on to say, this is why today I have low self-esteem. But that's really today's cause. It's not really the effect, because we always have power over the now, right? We are always choosing each and every moment our thoughts, our words, our attitudes, our beliefs, our now. So even though this woman says, when I was a child, my mother always told me I was bad, and that's why I have low self-esteem. In reality, what's going on in this now moment for that individual is that as a child, the girl formulated beliefs about herself based on experience. She accepted the belief, And I would call that her BS. Yes. And that also stands for belief system. So she formulated a belief system in alignment with what her mother was telling her. It was that belief system that expressed in the now moment of an adult woman that caused her to decide to think, act, behave, and have the attitude that reflected in a low opinion of herself. You following me now? Yeah. And I don't think there's anyone on the face of the planet that has not had some example similar to this, where in the past they have absorbed a belief from the outer and accepted it for themselves. Okay? We're a sponge. Energetically, we absorb thoughts, we absorb information, we absorb chemicals. We absorb food that's good for us, food that's not good for us. We are always going to be absorbing things. And we get to choose whether or not those things are in our highest and best. My choices would be different from Bob's choices, which would be different from Gail's choices, which would be different from Donald's choices, which would be different from Veda's choices down the hall, because she's, 7? Yeah. So I want to be perfectly clear that I'm not saying that the words of the mother did not happen in the dialogue with the young girl, nor am I saying that the cause is a present belief, because she can change that. But it did give rise to the effect, and that cause and effect are never separate. They are never separate from our experience. So that's one of the easiest ways that we each can identify with the law of cause and effect. When we look at our past and the experiences we have all traveled and grown through and evolved from. We're all here on the planet still, so we're still on our journey. None of us have ascended yet, so we're still working it, myself included. The other thing that cause appears to be separated in space, and that refers to when the event is actually happening. So cause appears to be separate when the event is currently happening in this now moment. So that too can apply to the same example with the girl, the mother, the words, the belief that she absorbed and created for herself, and how it outpictured in her life 20, 30, 40 years later. Make sense? Yeah, let's all breathe into that. Because we have within us the power to let that go, the power to say that is not the truth about me, I no longer allow those old thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, opinions of the past and what I accepted with the brain of a child to be my true reality. I just say no. So let's practice that. Put the tongue on the top of the roof of the mouth there, and let's just say no together. Ready? No. So easy. So that is where our healing begins. Our healing begins when we're able to look within our own lives, within our own belief systems, to examine, is it like a real belief that's serving me highest and best, or is it really acting as BS? You know the BS I'm talking about now. Because your belief system can serve you like a pile of BS. You get to choose. So the inner realm where we have our belief system in our mind and as it expresses through us is our inner world, is our inner power, is our inner choice. We all get to go on this journey of wading through the BS to find the beliefs that serve us. The crucial wisdom in knowing that our thoughts are causative is that our emotions are caused by our thoughts, not our thoughts caused by our emotions. Because that activity is so quickly manifested together, cause, emotion, because we feel the emotion so much more vibrantly, we think that that came first. But I'm here to burst that bubble and dispel that myth and tell you that it was the thought that was allowed to run across your mind that created that emotion that was felt so intensely. Yeah, it happens so quickly we don't even notice that train going down the track. But it's the thought. So our experience of an event has to do with the ideas, the thoughts, the beliefs, the attitudes we hold rather than the outer event itself. In an afternoon, you can relive your whole life and say, yes, I will accept that thought belief from that experience, or no, I will not accept that thought belief from that experience, and I will change it to something that is more empowering, uplifting, and true to my nature that I know is divine. I am so amazed. There's so many heads shaking in alignment. It's true, absolutely true. So our outer events do not directly cause your inner experience. We're going to say that together. I'll say it first because I stumbled over it. Our outer events do not directly cause my inner experience. Together, our outer events do not directly cause my inner experience. Yeah. I feel a yeah but in the room. There's always a yeah but in the room. Yeah, but what about when somebody pushes my buttons? We've all had that happen. So did they really push your button? Or did you allow yourself to become annoyed because your inner need was not being met? Ooh, it's so much easier to blame someone for pushing my buttons when it's really I allowed. Darn it. Yeah. So the number one cause of conflict is based on a feeling, and we know that feelings and emotions are created by thoughts. They're created by the feeling that someone disrespected us. Now, when you backtrack, rewind, and say, what thought was going on in there? We will have a BS belief system that says that we are less than, that says we are not worthy, that says that we don't deserve something. Those are the belief systems that are the BS part, okay? Because we know that as children of God, made in the image and likeness of the divine, we are also divine beings, spiritual beings having a human experience. And we allowed an old belief system that is a lie to the truth of our nature to be pushed. Darn it, we allowed. Because it takes work. It takes a lot of inner work to know in the core of your being that you are that divine spark, that you are made in the image and likeness of the divine, that you have the power to control your ideas, your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Doesn't that sound like a full-time job? Yes. I'm so sorry to have to tell you, it is. But in order for us to co-create a world that works for all, it will take all of us stepping into the challenge and responsibility to do exactly that, which is why we have come together. So as long as we believe either on a conscious or subconscious way, even in the tiniest of ways, that the cause of our issues is outside of ourselves, we are victims to the world. The outer is not creating your experience. Your thoughts are creating your emotions, which is creating your experiences, which you are being a magnet for the universe to play the matching game and give you more. They don't teach you this in school. No, they leave this important part out. So if we are suffering, it is rooted in a belief that we hold, whether consciously or unconsciously, that no longer is serving us. It's in direct conflict with our soul and its knowing that we are more. So I invite you to breathe into that wisdom and spend the afternoon or someday this week looking at your beliefs. Are they serving you? Is there blaming going on? Is there a button that you still believe the outer world is pushing? And you're not going to be alone. We're all in this journey together. So think about those beliefs. Are they helping you? Are they assisting you be the highest and best Christ light that you can be in the outer world? Are they helping you to be a blessing and a bright light in your life? And more importantly, are those beliefs, those old, buried, subconscious beliefs, are they true? Consider the example with the girl whose mother said maybe only once on a bad day, "You're bad." And she sucked it in and absorbed it and carried it with her for 40 years. That's all it takes. And that is absolutely not true. But we must do the work of cleaning out the attic of our consciousness and planting the seeds that are the truth of our divine nature as children of God, as divine sparks. It is the balance of our mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and psychological worlds that is an art form. keeping all of those in balance takes work, takes effort, takes mindfulness, takes prayer, takes meditation, takes community, takes friends, loved ones to remind us when we're living our BS and not our belief systems. And we are blessed to have the awareness to even look that in the eye and say, yeah, that's the truth about me, or no, that idea, attitude, belief, and behavior no longer serves me or anyone else on the planet. That's your homework. Enjoy the journey. Namaste.